Highest payout percentage in the area. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. More spins, more wins, more fun. Just a little over a week and a half left of the NBA regular season. The Bucks back in action tonight visiting the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, they've been without Damian Lillard for a couple of weeks now as he continues to work through a blood clot. Could he be back for the playoffs, though? ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania joining the Pat McAfee show on ESPN yesterday.
My understanding is doctors are encouraged by where it's at. They see that blood clot is actually lowering. It's decreasing. It's diminishing. And he's doing some light workouts right now. He's hopeful to get cleared here in the next week and a half to go full go contact and then resume basketball and play in games for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks Sixers, 6 o'clock tonight. Pregame coverage starts at 5:30. Listen to it in Madison on 1670 The Zone, or, of course, the Bucks flagship 620 WTMJ. Here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's new home of the Brewers. Brewers host the Reds for the first of four tonight, 6:40 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Thursday edition. The Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin commercial is out. I've seen it, and it's spectacular.
It was out yesterday.
Yeah, but I hadn't seen it yet. And I was apparently on a different distribution list than you were. Because you're the biggest star of the commercial. Right, Wilde?
No, there's nothing about distribution. It was out. You just didn't see it.
Tier 2 distribution list.
That's me, edition. The Evan Cohen scheduled to appear, even though it's Thursday because he got preempted by Nick Collins on Tuesday, edition. And the Mark Murphy believes that the tush push will ultimately be banned. Is he right?
Yeah.
Edition. Of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter sometimes, Facebook, not lately, but definitely on YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from his undisclosed location, he is the biggest star of our commercial. And Gina Della has the biggest role. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. I still am kind of irritated that you went green and I went yellow in that, but... So I'm not the biggest star. You obviously were because we had a hold up on set, and you got to pick what color Pella sweatshirt you're going to wear. So other than that, yeah, I'm doing great.
Wow. Okay.
Well, hey, Jesse, if you're the biggest star, you would get to pick all of those things, right? You would be the guy holding up the show, and you would be the guy that got to pick what color shirt you were going to wear.
I mean,
am I wrong on that?
You played with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. They were the biggest stars at their respective times. I'm sure they got to decide things that you and others did not, despite being great players yourselves.
And we would wait on them, or we would change practice schedules. If somebody wanted to hunt a little bit earlier, we'd practice a little bit earlier. So, yeah. I don't know how you could argue that, Jason. It's not me being a you-know-what. It is what it is.
I don't know what, but you are a you-know-what. And there's other people that think that as well, that you're a you-know-what. Because if you tuned in to the late portion of yesterday's program, it was not available on YouTube, had some glitches there.
Jerry Odd unhappy about that. Jerry Odd not
not.
happy that Jesse didn't get us on the YouTube channel late.
Jerry Odd can get over it, first of all.
Don't do it.
It's almost like one of our biggest
Jerry Odd's our
stars.
guy.
It's almost as if one of our biggest stars decided how we were going to handle the end of the show. And that may have influenced its availability.
We are learning different ways to go about when the Brewers preempt us on ESPN Madison. It'll only happen a
Good win yesterday for the Crew.
In 11.
Safety squeeze, lefty on lefty, safety squeeze to win. Told you boys not to panic about this team. I tried to tell you.
Freddie Peralta, what was it, 19 in a row he retired? Nice day.
Pretty good little day.
Back at it tonight, 6:40 first pitch. Reds. Anyway, so we got
the Hiroshima Carp.
We got preempted by the Brewers yesterday, and we're learning at ESPN Madison how to go about this. There's going to be a couple of different ways we try this. Yesterday, we got bumped from YouTube. Sorry, Jerry Odd. Sorry to the other hundreds of people who were tuning in for the final 2 segments of the show. And you missed some good beef, is what you missed.
That's true. You did. And it appears that perhaps the beef has continued. So this all started on Monday? Is that when it started? Tuesday? With you and the KBN crew getting after
is that
each
the beef?
other.
What beef? I don't have any beef with them. It's a groupthink operation. I don't have any beef with that group.
Just you wait.
I think your critique of them may have rubbed them the wrong way, and apparently your segment, which I heard, could be charitably described as a bit contentious.
You hung up on them. You just couldn't figure out how to hang up
on
the
each
phone.
other.
No, they hung up on me,
a mutual hang-up.
And again, I didn't have any problem with the hang-up at all. I thought it was fine. Like, if we're done, we're done. It's good.
Well, anyway, it prompted you.
This is really going to blindside him if he doesn't expect this coming right now.
He clearly doesn't. So basically, you criticize them, which again, hey, you believe in hard coaching. I get it. You gave your opinion. It led to a good discussion. It was supposed to be, did you hear this? But it really was more airing of grievances. And it was really supposed to be, whoa, Nelly, but then it wasn't that either. But then, so Jesse, this got back to KBN. Is that what happened here?
It sure did.
And you have how they responded?
I have 2 minutes of Kyle Wallace.
2 minutes?
Yeah, respond as you wish as we go through this. Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Ben Brust responding to Old T's critique of their groupthink mentality on the pessimism toward the Green Bay Packers this offseason.
And the Goody hatred, dislike, disrespect, while Tausch's Goody standing at every turn. So here is their response.
The problem is how the mighty have fallen. Look at Tausch. He used to be an NFL starting tackle, a guy that played every year with a great quarterback and was competing for championships. Now look at him. He's a shell of himself. Now he's just sitting here saying, oh, I just want the guys to have fun. I just want them to compete. Goody's doing such. Just give him some time. Give him some time, Goody. Give him some time. They'll be okay. Look at him. He has fallen so far, and it is absolutely disappointing. Actually, I'm so sad for you, Mark Tauscher. I used to love you, but now I just can't stand the fact that you are just making excuses for the Packers not going all in. What happened to you, man? This ain't the Tausch I loved. This ain't the guy that went to Wisconsin and changed the culture. This isn't the guy that won a Super Bowl championship. This is a guy that's making excuses for a team not doing enough.
I'm honestly a little bit jealous because they're living with such contentment. They're living with contentment with their Green Bay Packers that, you know what we've been doing is
clearly
good.
having contentment having Jesse Nelson as the producer.
Yeah, I mean, for sure there. But, they're good. Hey, we're good with just making the playoffs. We're good with the 15-year Super Bowl appearance drought, We can just trust the process and keep on doing the same thing over and over again, and hopefully it changes, and just hopefully guys take a next step, even when their careers are advancing right before their very eyes.
Goody has broken them. The Packers have broken Wilde and Tausch to the point, like you said, Brett, they're now content with being just good. That is terrible. Just good.
It's just really too bad.
Who cares about winning a title? You made the playoffs. You won 11 games. Who cares? Hey, Christian Watson's gone. You didn't replace him at receiver. Or maybe you did. You did with McCole Hardman. He's a speedster. So you know what? That's fine.
I hate how he's
a
speedster.
Oh, man. You guys are just so
Make him
much.
sound like he's the fastest guy in Mario Kart.
All that groupthink over there. Those guys, they're just groupthink. They want too much, man. They should just want guys to be happy.
That's the scathing critique? Is that? A couple of personal
feel
pot
like-
shots at me? Listen, man, it's the big leagues, dude. You can take pot shots at me. I don't give a rip. The bottom line is, you're sitting here. This is again, Goody has put this team in position. You could say 15 years. Was it Goody's fault in 2014? Was it Goody's fault in 2020 when you're the 1 seed? Was it Goody's fault when you're the 1 seed and you blow a game against San Francisco at home? Like, it's not Goody's fault. And it's not easy to win championships. No, it's not. So this whole complacency and all three of those fellas just sitting there just patting themselves on the back. Maybe that's good radio. I don't know. Maybe it is. I just sitting there saying, oh, this. You have to let a process unfold. You can't. How many times do you see a team go from a Hall of Fame quarterback to being in the playoffs and having a lead to go to an NFC champ the next blanking year? So is it complacency? I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys. I was on the table here saying I want Devonta Adams there. I wanted him. I was one of the first people to say, let's go do it. They didn't. Okay. They believe that the more urgent, and I got into this with you yesterday too, the more urgent need was to give better protection to Jordan Love and to be better up front against the better teams in the NFC. That's what Brian Gutekunst has done. He will be judged on that. If the receiving corps stinks again, he will be judged harshly. It's April 3rd. It's April 3rd. It's not August. It's not September. That's where I don't take any of that criticism. I'm fine. I'm a big fella, literally and figuratively. Go ahead. Throw stuff at me. You three just group think yourselves in and say that this is what needs to do. And when the Packers are sitting in a position to be in the playoffs and winning a division again next year, then what are you guys going to talk about? That's what happens. And this year was disappointing from what it was last year. But last year wasn't disappointing. So it doesn't move the needle for me. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't.
I don't want to be like yelled at or whatever, but that was. I'm not sure that was good enough for us to even play on our show.
Oh, snap.
I don't. Other than taking personal shots at me, I don't know what else that was. I mean, they obviously, and this is the part that bothers me, Jason, when I go on with them. They'll sit and bash Goody and think the Packers stink. They talk like the Packers are a 5-12 team. And then I call them out on that, and it is like, what word? No. You guys are looking at it and saying this roster stinks and isn't good enough. Then stand and defend on that point. That's all. But that's not what they do. And that's the part that bothers me about what they're doing. That's all.
Yeah.
This is a team. Here's the bottom line, and then we can move on. The bottom line is this is a team that is a couple pieces away, and most fans and KBN Nation think it's a wide receiver that they needed. Brian Gutekunst thought it's a corner and a guard. It's not as sexy. It's not as great for media. No question. I'm not going to argue that. But let's not get things twisted here. Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur watched film and said, we need, and then with who's available in the free agency market. If Justin Jefferson was available, or Jamar Chase, or T. Higgins, maybe the Packers go and are more aggressive there. They were not, or at least that was not the way it was going to be. They thought this is what needed to happen to make this team better. And you know what? We will find out if that's right. I don't know. But that is the urgency piece, and that's where I got into it with you a little bit yesterday. That's the urgency piece to this. And they probably know a little bit more. And if they don't and they're wrong, you know what happens accountability-wise? Heads roll in the NFL.
So the problem I have with this is somewhere in between. They're a 5-12 team. They're terrible. Goody sucks, and that, and then the constant benefit of the doubt. Let them grow. Whatever however they chose to characterize your position. I do think that on this program, I appear to be a far greater critic of Goody, and I feel like I take some, as you like to say, shrapnel, because people think that because I'm a little more critical of him that I hate him or I think he sucks. Look, I think he's a very good general manager. My issue with him, which I don't
think
Jason,
before you go on
sure, please.
On your thing, we'll have to wait till after Evan. I know it's not Monday, but that's really what KBN and their fans. I am a Goody. I think Brian Gutekunst has done a whale of a good job. I don't know how you can't. You're talking about transitioning from a Hall of Fame quarterback, getting draft picks, getting rid of Aaron Rodgers, and then bringing Jordan Love in with all of this, and you're a playoff team, 7th seed, no doubt. When he had Aaron Rodgers, they had the 1 seed in home field twice. So he rebuilt a roster from that cold, snowy day against the Arizona Cardinals, bringing in 4 free agents. Is he perfect? He's not. No. But this is basically a referendum. Is Brian Gutekunst been a good general manager for the Green Bay Packers?
Well, no.
KBN thinks he stinks.
Yeah,
and I think he's really good, and I think you think he's in the middle. That's how I assess the situation.
If it's terrible, perfect, and in the dead center it's mediocre, he is far over from mediocre toward perfect. He is a good general manager. Anybody who disputes that, they have other issues.
Yeah, the groupthink boys over at KBN feel that way, and that's the part that bothers me.
And look, we'll talk to Evan Cohen. Evan Cohen has said on this show that he thinks he's the best GM in football. So we will ask him from a national perspective.
It's tough to go against Howie after what he's done with Philly. I mean, I am a Goody stan, and I can't say he's better than what Philly did. I'd be an idiot.
I guess my point is that, and you have been one of the people that have taught us this, free agency is used for when you miss in the draft.
Yep.
So Xavier McKinney is a fantastic signing. He had no business being available, but they had to sign Xavier McKinney because he missed on Darnell Savage with a first-round pick. They had to sign Aaron Banks and move Elton Jenkins because he missed on his center, Josh Myers, in the 2021 draft. I don't think you can say that he is so star-spangled awesome when from the 2020 and 2021 drafts he has Jordan Love and Isaiah McDuffie left to show for it. And you can play the game, as I wrote about on channel3000.com, about how, well, players aren't getting signed to second contracts as often. Okay, fair. But still, you want to do better than one guy from each of those drafts. And I get a lot of grief for this as well because I think I treat Goody a lot like I treat Jordan Love, which is, yeah, he's good. Is he as good as we have crowned him as being? I don't believe either of them are. That doesn't mean that they're not good. It means that when you've seen Ron Wolf, who is a Pro Football Hall of Famer, when you have seen Ted Thompson, who you can disagree with how stringent he was about draft and develop, but he did get Charles Woodson. He brought in Julius Peppers, who had an impact. He drafted some really, really good football players, too, who actually won a title. When you see that, when you see Brett Favre for most of your career and Aaron Rodgers for the entirety of his career, I'm going to hold the GM and the quarterback to a higher standard. And we can still say that they're good. We can still say they're very good, but they're not great. And I don't think that that's an unfair critique for a team that hasn't won a title in 15 years. And for you to argue that, oh, they had a number one seed in 21 or they were the number one seed in 20, I don't know if you can say that that's because they have Brian Gutekunst as their GM as much as you would say they had a Hall of Fame quarterback. Because, again, he chose in 2022 to trade Devontae Adams and have as his number one receiver for that Hall of Fame quarterback, Allen freaking Lazard. That's not great as a general manager. I don't care how you feel about everything else he did. You can blame Aaron Rodgers for not being more open and welcoming to the three rookies that were drafted that year. But the fact of the matter is, you were the number one seed the previous year, and you decided to go into another season after you paid the quarterback a $150 million contract because you didn't believe that your hand-picked successor was ready yet. So you paid him $50 million for the 22 season. You can't say that that's a great job. You just can't. And I don't understand how you can argue that. So he gets credit for drafting Jordan Love and him being a good quarterback. We will find out if he deserves to be put on the same mantle or if even Lynn Dickey will finish ahead of him in terms of the pecking order of Packers quarterbacks all time. I don't know. But we did crown him prematurely. The reality is that they have not gotten it done. However you want to slice it. They're young. They're choosing. It's a 3 to 5 year plan. However you want to view it. Okay? That where they are now is good. They have been good. And anybody who says they've been anything less is being unfair, and I don't agree with them. But for all of our excitement that we felt at the end of the 23 season, they lose at home against a team that had nothing to play for in the Lions in the 22 finale. In 23, there were a lot of ups and downs, as you would expect from a first-year starting quarterback and a young team. They made the playoffs with a seed that didn't exist a couple of years earlier. And last year, they lost their last two regular season games, made the playoffs, and then lost their playoff game, again as the 7th seed. So if there wasn't a 7th seed, we'd be sitting here going, God, they haven't made the playoffs since they lost that game to the 49ers as the number one seed at home in the divisional round. They've missed the playoffs 3 years running. That make it a lot harder to make an argument that this general manager and this quarterback have been great.
Let's live in reality, though, because that's not reality.
Come on,
reality
it is
reality.
They
went and beat a Dallas team. Okay, you can litigate it all you want.
Because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't make that point. Last year they went 1-5 in the division.
Playoff didn't exist.
Nobody
cares, Jason. But it did when it did. And then when they won, they're ahead in the third quarter. You're just trying to. I don't even know what you're trying to do. You're trying to anti-Gutenite it. I guess.
All right. Tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
There's a lot of buzz around the draft.
Talked for a long time there. You didn't clearly listen.
No, I did listen. I disagreed with your points. That can happen. Can happen when it comes to who you need to go to for windows and doors, and that, of course, is Pella. A lot of buzz around the draft. You're not going to find drafts seeping through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades. Right, Wilde? Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home decor through seamless customizations. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Getting a few comments in the YouTube comments. We'll see what people have to say about that debate next. Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde?
Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker, it's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab, that's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
We're on the Badgers.
The expectations for Badger basketball that I have to let go of was the Bo Ryan expectation.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And that's not Great Guard's fault. That's the NCAA's fault.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Evan Cohen to join us. We'll ask him his position on Brian Gutekunst. How did our debate, beef, whatever you want to call it, with KBN and then Tausch poo-pooing what I thought was a pretty reasonable argument? How's the response
Just wait a
on
second.
the carbless talk and text line?
What was your reasonable argument?
If
just so that
I'm not gonna relitigate this. I'm gonna ask for people's opinions. So thank you for chiming in, but we're gonna move forward.
The bad drafts of 20 and 21 is kind of
what do we got on the
point,
carbless talk and text line?
Okay.
Nick in Wanakee, the GM's performance on picking guys in the first round alone takes him out of the category of elite. So is this going to be like the quarterback thing where, like, is Joe Flacco elite? Is Goody elite as a GM is going to be the new thing?
The job of the general manager, yes, you want to hit on all your first-round picks, and I will agree with Nick that he has not been elite other than he got a franchise quarterback, which is pretty good. So that part of it notwithstanding, yeah, his first-round picks have not been as impactful as they need to be. I can't argue with Nick on that. But the job of the general manager is to give your coaches enough personnel to win a championship. And I would argue that in the how many years has Goody been the GM, Jason? 7 seasons, going on his 8th. Is that right?
That is correct.
I would say he's been half. He's had teams that were good enough to win a championship and positioned to win a championship in 4, maybe 5 of those seasons. That's what, and I think that's pretty doggone good. That's what I think.
From the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments, Mick, never is heard a discouraging word about Aaron Rodgers from the lips of Jay Wilde. It would break Wilde's jaw to rip Rodgers the way he rips Goody. Is that right? I had to text him because I ripped the hell out of him for not showing up for the minicamp with the Jets. I've ripped him plenty. Michael, Goody's job is to sustain some success. The coaching staff needs to get the team over the hump and win championships. Wilde never says squat negative about LaFleur. He has a vendetta about Goody. Wilde likes texts because Jesse screens out the good ones. Milltown Taylor gang. Never heard anyone call Goody or Jordan Love great. Really? Somebody had him in the MVP conversation a year ago. Wilde is just bumping his mouth. He's arguing against himself right now. This is why nuanced conversations on this show apparently don't work in that chat area.
You like those YouTube
Wow,
dwellers?
coming after the chatters.
You like those dwellers?
This is garbage. Huh? This is garbage. That's what that is. That's garbage.
You have, I'll say this. You are definitely more pro LaFleur. I am more pro Goody. I think Matt LaFleur is a really good coach.
Press conference criticizing and asking him question after question about how jacked up the play action was and how he didn't figure out a way to make the play action game work with a new running back and a new scheme. I don't understand how that's possibly letting him get away with it. When he loses his cool and gets penalties or doesn't keep control of the game, we criticize him for it. So don't give me this.
I like that bump in your gums, though. I like that. The big gum bumper.
GB.
The gum bumper.
Well, I'm not bumping my...
Jason, I think here's the deal. I think you're... And a lot of fans, it's not just KBN and you on the Goody side of it. I think there's just a frustration that are we settling, I think, what did Nordy say? Settling for mediocrity or contentment? You guys really think Goody is settling for contentment? You really think that's what is going on here? Because he's not overpaying and going and getting DK Metcalf or Chase Claypool or something else? Like, that's the part... I just have a problem with guys that have played that understand, and I said this to Brust on Tuesday. Ben Brust as a freshman wasn't Ben Brust as a senior. Matter of fact, I think Bo Ryan said Ben Brust couldn't guard a chair, I do believe. And he got, you know what happened? Ben got better and is a huge component to the team Whereas if Ben Brust was doing a radio show about Ben Brust, he'd have had his butt off the team and a transfer portal come in to replace his butt as a sophomore. That's all I was trying to say, that there is a little empathy for growth. Like, it has to be there. Those guys would have been the same ones getting rid of Devontae Adams in 16. That's all. I've seen this movie enough to know that there is some patience that needs to be in play throughout this process when you have a young football team. That's all. That's all.
It's time to shop Beauty Rest Black Mattresses at Steinhafels. Beauty Rest Black Mattresses use sleep climate technology that transfers heat away from the body. I need something to transfer some heat away from me right now. And triple-stranded pocket coil technology to give you the most advanced support system in a mattress. Right now, the new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get up to $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. Evan Cohen joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hold your friends close and your rivals closer on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
In honor of Molly Brown, share your embarrassing nickname for when you were a kid, and your nickname was
Maladina Muffin Pie.
Why are we not making that time was so good.
Why are we not making foo-foo say foo-foo constantly?
Fine, we can go. I can't remember yours. Like, yours
Exactly.
is harder.
Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between two great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
It's the season of upsets and buzzer beaters. It's also the season of hate and threats directed at college athletes. 1 in 3 high-profile athletes receives abusive messages online, and female athletes receive 3 times as many. 1 in 5 college athletes reports experiencing mental health concerns, but less than half of them will seek support. BetterHelp is partnering with college athletes by providing a free month of therapy to any student athlete who visits stopthemadness.org. Visit stopthemadness.org today.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town, I just might be the one who finally burns it down.
Like it is Evan Cohen. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Jason, how are you?
I'm trying to understand what is the proper amount to criticize Brian Gutekunst. You have been, I don't want to misquote you.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Brian Gutekunst in the diorama of all the great GMs in the league?
Yeah, so I think that when I think about Goody, I think he's very good. I've called him the best GM in the NFL. I think right now it's hard to do that because of Howie Roseman and what the Eagles have done and the decisions that they've made. I think that my guess is anyone that manages any people or any companies that listen is really good. And anyone who doesn't, which is totally fine, would look at him and say, I'm not sure what he's accomplished. The reason I draw that line is the admiration I have for him is how many hard decisions he's made and how they've worked out. And I think that's not an easy thing to do. Most people in life run from hard decisions. This guy runs towards them. He literally got rid of Aaron Rodgers and drafted his replacement and still got 2 years out of him in terms of an MVP or 2 MVP years out of him. And we could say that Jordan Love did not have as good of a year as we thought he would last year. No one is saying he's not the quarterback of the present and the future. He got rid of Rodgers. He got Love. That makes you a good GM. He made hard decisions.
Got rid of Aaron Jones, brought in Josh Jacobs. That decision turned
Hard
out to be
decision.
pretty good, too. Yep.
And Tausch, that's a hard decision. Aaron Jones was very good for the Green Bay Packers.
One of the favorites of the franchise, absolutely.
And, I mean, Tausch, in your life, you have run things. You have been in charge of different things. Hard decisions are that, really hard. This guy doesn't seem to be afraid of those.
Well, so here's why we're talking about that this morning. I had my appearance on KBN on Tuesday, and the boys got after me because they're trying to say that I'm content being mediocre and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is, and this is what I was just telling Jason, Brian Gutekunst has had his team. He's been the GM 7 years. I would make a really good argument. 4 years they had really great, not good, great opportunities to win a championship. 4 out of 7. Now, Jason brought up 22. Disastrous year. 100% agree. Traded Devontae. Didn't have the wideouts to do it. Rodgers was on, it was the Jordan Love, all of that. But then to transition and get to a point where you were 2 seasons ago is unbelievable. And now you're disappointed again. So there is pressure on him. I'm not arguing that. But what he's done from when he started to where he has been really good. And it's not been about contentment or anything else. It's not easy to win. Look at the New England Patriots, guys. Tom Brady leaves, they fall apart. Aaron Rodgers leaves. The Packers are in the blanking divisional championship or the divisional round with a chance to beat San Fran to go to an NFC championship game a year later. That doesn't happen by accident. That's always my point.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the Devontae thing. That's a good one. I mean, what'd they get in return for him?
A first and a second.
First and a second.
And since then, he's been on 3 teams.
He was
Yeah,
first team
pretty good
All-Pro. He was a first team All-Pro with the Raiders his first year there, though.
Congratulations. What did he do? What did they do?
Well, do we think the Raiders?
you do-
We
I
think
mean,
they
but-
didn't win. We think they didn't win because Devontae Adams wasn't good enough with the Raiders.
No, I think they didn't win because they valued a wide receiver in a way that they shouldn't.
Interesting.
Not now. That's not Devontae Adams' fault that he plays wide receiver, obviously, right? And I just think that's giving up a first and a second for a wide receiver is nuts to me, because I'd rather have 2 offensive linemen for the first and the second than a 1 wide receiver. If it were me, we also have to realize that this. Now, I'm not trying to make a bold statement here with what I'm about to say. They didn't have the ultimate winner at quarterback, even though he's won a lot. I'm just saying.
Expand. What do you mean?
Well, Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal at racking up numbers for Aaron Rodgers and winning games, but like outside of 2010, how many overachieving years were there for him? The relative
11.
team success, not it.
11. They had a
11
god awful
overachieving years,
defense,
or
and he went
2011?
15-1, and I don't think that's a fair critique, Evan. I don't.
Well, I don't look at. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's a rallier of the troops late in his career. Let's put it that way. And I think that it's not like breaking news. He's done more harm to organizations over the last 5 years than he's helped organizations. I mean, like that's not even a debatable point anymore.
Just wait a second. You could say that about the Jets. How are you going to say that about Green Bay? He was an MVP after they drafted Jordan Love. By all accounts, a great mentor to Jordan Love, helped Jordan Love, and by his last season going the way it did, he made it easier for Jordan Love to step into that chair. I didn't think he did anything bad on the Green Bay. I think he actually did more to help Jordan.
He handled the exit perfectly. Yeah, he was amazing at handling that exit.
For the Packers, he did. Not for himself. For the Green Bay Packers, there was no Jesse Nelson's jumping ship to the Jets like there was with Favre. I don't know anybody that did. Jason, do you agree that he actually, when you look at it from the Packers standpoint, Aaron Rodgers did the organization a solid by how things went, the way he ended?
Yes, he made it way less awkward, and he made it that everyone was excited about him being
Pulling
replaced
for Jordan,
as opposed to when the fan base was divided in 2008
Jesse left the group.
over the Favre departure.
Okay, that's. I mean, you both have a great out in this argument. I give you both credit on this. That he was such a pain in the ass that it helped them. Okay, fair.
Can you say that?
Fair.
Can that word be said on air? I just want to make sure that's
said
fair.
it. Yeah.
That one's all right.
But I can't say the P.
You can't.
Whatever.
You can refer to the butt. You can't call him that.
Oh, is that how it works?
Uh-huh.
Both are nouns.
It seems like it's
whatever.
an odd decision to go back to that. But anyway, so I guess, Tausch, you and I think Goody is a major plus. Jason, where are you on this?
Mid.
No, he's not mid. He is a good. I don't understand why, if I don't say he's one of the top 3 GMs in football, then I must think he sucks or he's mid. That's not what I'm saying. He is a good GM. He signs 2 great free agents last year. He has made some very good picks in the last handful of drafts. He also had bad drafts in 20 and 21. And yes, he got Jordan Love. But at the same time, there's an argument, which Craig and I have had together on Sunday Karma, that, hey, maybe they win a Super Bowl if he doesn't draft the quarterback in 2020. I don't know what happens.
That is so ridiculous on so many levels.
Why is that ridiculous?
So Aaron Rodgers in 2020, when he drafted Jordan Love, did what individually that year?
Yeah, and the MVP.
Okay, so as easy as you guys can say, he would have won. They could have won the Super Bowl if they didn't draft a QB. Is it as easily as I could say he wouldn't have won the MVP if they didn't draft a QB?
I don't know. I think.
And right.
First of all,
But
right, and I'm not saying I know for certain that they would have won the Super Bowl had they not drafted Love, but at the same time, I can't say for certain that they wouldn't have. They reached the NFC Championship game. Maybe that player that they draft has an impact in that game. Jordan Love never even got to wear his jersey that season.
Right, but I do think that his presence absolutely motivated Rodgers in a different
I agree
way.
with that. No doubt. Totally.
In addition-
I've always agreed with that.
in addition, Those people that want to say if they drafted a wide receiver haven't paid attention because he famously, per you, Jason, has basically shunned the Packers' young wide receivers at that point in his career. So don't give me if they drafted this guy, he would have been great with them. There's no evidence of that at that point in his career. And I think more than any other player, including Favre, in Packers history, the bias around that guy is so overwhelming. You and Craig in his favor, me against. Let's be honest. We can't dance around that.
I don't understand why this became a referendum on Rodgers, though. We're talking about Goody and the job he's done, the entire picture of what he's done.
But, Jason, the number one thing on his resume, Goody, that is, the number one thing on his resume, in my opinion, is the impossible decision that he made of trying to get Rodgers' replacement while he was still in his prime and being right about it. That's a really hard thing to do as a general manager.
So, all right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, since we're going to stay on the Rodgers portion of this, because you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. Again, this is why when we have these conversations, I get frustrated because the perception is that it has to be black or white, and it's just not. So let me ask you this then. Rodgers wins back-to-back MVPs. Goody, who considered at number 12 in 2019, drafting Drew Lock instead of Rashawn Gary at number 12, who clearly did not enjoy the experience of having Aaron Rodgers as his quarterback, which I totally get. I wouldn't want him as my employee either if I was the GM. He is a pain in the ass, as you so eloquently put it. So he wins back to... So by you, and I'm just quoting it. So he wins back-to-back MVPs. He wins back-to-back MVPs. Love sits for 2 years. And there are teams, in fact, one that had meddled with him the year before. Another team that in 2022 hires Nathaniel Hackett as their head coach only because they think they're going to get Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback. Goody could trade him for a bounty of picks, but clearly doesn't believe enough in his replacement that he drafted, or thinks that he will be burned at the stake for trading the reigning two-time MVP, that he doesn't make that trade, and instead he gives Aaron Rodgers 3 years, $150 million. He collects $50 million the first year, and then he has to sit with a $41 million cap charge in 2023. In spite of that, they still make the playoffs, by the way. But I'm wondering, how do we fit all that into the Aaron Rodgers-Goody conversation? Because if he was the greatest GM, he would have traded Rodgers for a boatload of picks like the Seattle Seahawks did with Russell Wilson and started the Love era in 2022. Would he not have?
Fair. I mean, it's interesting that the only knock on him, or the most obvious knock on him, if you talk about the top of his resume, which is the Rodgers/Love decision making, is that he didn't do it a year earlier. Now, again, the counter is if Jordan Love wasn't ready when he did it, was the right time to do it, despite the return, because it doesn't matter what you get in return in a trade if you don't have a quarterback. If you have a quarterback, nothing else matters as much in terms of the return of the investment, the trades, everything like that. The great quarterback gets you out of all of those problems. And the other question I have, though, on this, Tausch, when the KBN crew was saying he hasn't done a great job, he's not as good as you were making him out to be, did they give you, that's presenting a problem, did they give you the solution? Who did they want as a general manager, out of curiosity?
I didn't ask. So I don't know that.
Yeah, but if they're not volunteering that, I don't want to hear that Goody's not good. Get on the air in the afternoon and say, that the new whoever's replacing Mark Murphy, that person should have offered everything they could possibly offer to Seattle to get John Schneider back. Because if you're not giving me a solution, I don't want to hear the problem.
I'm with you. I agree. Evco, before I let you go, I am curious on because we're a couple of NBA guys too, and I'm hearing. I was listening to you this morning on my way to pickleball. The Giannis, you said the big thing, KD, Giannis, all these potential players that might be available, and you didn't say Giannis is going to be available, but I'm nervous, especially if Dame doesn't come back. Homer's been saying it. I'm nervous. Should Bucks fans? We've heard these rumors for years, and we've dismissed them and all this other stuff. But if this goes one and done for Milwaukee, should the Bucks think about making this big move, or what would you tell them if you were advising them?
Okay, so you're asking me a different question than we discussed. Because what we discussed...
Yeah, I try to move it forward. Oh,
you're so good.
Or frame it inaccurately, one or the other.
Right.
There's no accurate framing.
What we discussed was the concept of some of these guys ask out, / with some of these teams move on from them. I do not believe the Bucks should move on from Giannis. I don't think there's any logical thought behind that. In addition, I don't think he's going to ask out because this conversation we're having, we've had 100 times with this guy, and he's never.
But it feels different this time. Doesn't it feel different this time?
I'm going to tell you something. So it feels different because Middleton's gone. It feels different because Lopez is on an expiring contract. It feels different because Dame has a real life thing going on with a blood clot. This is not like a sprained ankle. This is real life stuff. This is a father. This is this is much different than a physical NBA type injury. But I have a theme for what is going to happen over the next few months into the offseason with the NBA. May I share it with you?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
I will say I think this is going to be a play-the-results summer around the league. What do I mean? If Oklahoma City wins a championship, then many teams that are littered with young players that are successful, i.e. Houston, is going to look at Oklahoma City and say, you know what, we're not going to do a 3-for-1 deal. We're not going to give up 1 million picks. We're just going to continue to do it the way they're doing it because now we have proof of concept. We can have all these young guys. As long as we have enough good ones and one great one, we don't need to take 2 or 3 guys and trade them for Giannis.
So there wouldn't be as much of a market for him.
Now, with that said, Evan, you know if that market's open, Katie bar the door. Like the people will be throwing
No.
5, 6 first-round picks at.
Hold on.
Okay.
There will absolutely be a market for Giannis. What I am telling you is that the teams that you're going to want to offer you things may not. Houston is the number 1 team on that. They're littered with young players, and they have tons of picks. They may say, you know what, as great as Giannis is, we're not going to do that because look what Oklahoma City just did. We're going to play the results on that, and we're going to continue to operate in this direction. That's
draft and develop, if you will.
Yeah, that's not actually Packers.
Right.
4 teams are going to be like the Packers.
Exactly. The OKC GM, he's the Goody of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Presti is a fascinating GM. He's never actually won anything. He's very quiet, like Goody. He was in the finals in 2013. He made a hard decision to get rid of Paul George, and you could say, oh, that must be an easy one. Look at Shea. No one knew that Shea was going to be a megastar like this.
Right.
And probably, I would say, less than half of the audience listening to Wilde and Tausch right now have any idea that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was on the Clippers. Like, how many people did Jason? Did you know that?
I think the only one who knows would be
didn't.
Pratik.
No.
That's the name you want to drop that everybody knows. Just
Why you always do that to me? You reference the content call. When I do it, you get after me. Then you drop it on other appearances.
No, but I do it kind of in code where you get it, not where the audience is going to listen to it.
Okay.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff, fellas.
Anyway, point is this. I'll believe Giannis is traded when I see it. How about that?
I agree with that. I'm definitely on that team. All right.
Does he have a market thing? Absolutely. But do you want Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and picks?
No, I don't think
Probably
anything you're
not,
getting
right?
back for him is going to be good enough. The issue would be if he wants out and you feel like you have to trade him. Like, they're never going to trade him because they think the window's closed.
That's the only way you're trading is if he wants out.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about him knocking on John Horst's door and saying, listen, this has been an amazing run.
Come on, knock on my door.
And then, the Three's company of Giannis, Doc, and John Horst.
So many timely TV references on this show. 47th anniversary of the debut of Dallas yesterday. And Tausch still talks about it.
So we're not going to get into who shot JR, okay? So let's say that Giannis knocks on the door and he says it's time. They don't have to say, okay, but would they?
No, they'd say okay.
You think they would?
Ooh.
Yeah, they yes.
You don't think they try to talk him out of it?
Well, they could try to talk him out of it, but
what if they could get Drew back?
That's not enough.
Okay. Not for Giannis. I'm saying to satisfy him.
No, to bring him in is to be another component with it. Yeah. They need to win. They need to win a series at minimum, I think, in order for this
I
thing.
wouldn't rule it out. I think they could beat the Knicks in the first round. I really do.
Okay. I'll join that club.
Yeah, that's not like some
All right.
bold statement. We're talking about Giannis.
No, I didn't think it was.
Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Tausch, you seem a little out of it today. Let's be honest.
No, I'm on it, baby. I'm on it.
He took that criticism from KBN very hard.
Well, all you got to do is do what I just did. Okay, so you don't want Goody. Who do you want? Trust me.
No, they'll backtrack and say that's not what they backtrack then.
So
and that's the part that bothers me.
All right. I don't want to have to be put in the position of defending those guys, but I am going to say that my critique, I'm not saying that he should be replaced as the general manager, nothing anywhere near that. My argument with Tausch yesterday that emanated from this disagreement that he had with KBN was that when you come out and publicly say that this team needs to have they have to ramp up their urgency, it's time for them to compete for championships. And Evan, for whatever differences you and I have had over the years, you always take.
Have you guys had differences?
Yeah, it's an under the radar reference, I know, but you always take responsibility, right? And you are very good about, hey, when I'm offering a critique, I start with myself and what I need to do better. And my issue with Goody is that he comes out and he says this, and then when someone asks him at the NFL meetings about urgency for him, he basically rolls his eyes and says that was for the players. And so that's where my criticism is. If you're going to publicly criticize your players and say they have to have a greater sense of urgency, I think you have to be willing to say as the general manager, hey, I need to have a greater sense of urgency too. Now, look, I think we showed urgency. We got a guard that's going to fit our run game really well. We think we got him. He was a valuable pickup. We like Nate Hobbs. He's going to help our corner group. But I got more work to do. And if we're going to be a Super Bowl team, I do feel that urgency, and I need to do a better job too. That was my argument.
Yeah, that sounds very fair. And now I think based on that, you understand why.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. Now you know why I like Belichick as much as I do, because it's never anyone else's fault. Ever. Publicly. Right? Publicly, it's never anyone else's fault. And that's, I understand he's boring. I understand for a lot of people he's not likable. But what you just said about Goody never came out of that man's mouth.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Coach, you need to have a sense of urgency. You know, you guys lost the NFC title game last year. You won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. we just got to get better every single day in all three phases, and that starts with me and the coaching staff, and I got to do better at coaching the coaches and coaching the players, and we always have to have a sense of urgency every single day. That's how he answers that. That's not like, well, I don't, but they do. I mean, that's a turnoff. I get it.
Right. All right, Evan, I know you have...
Very quickly, Jason, and Mark, if I said to you guys right now, Goody won the lottery and said, I'm out, I'm leaving, I don't need this stress, who's the general manager?
They promote John Eric Sullivan, who had like 4 GM interviews with other teams.
Okay. Now, your answer?
I don't even. I mean, I would agree with Jason, but I think Brian Gutekunst would still be the GM even if he won the lottery. I don't think he's giving
Just
it up.
like you'd still be doing the show.
I would. Yep.
He barely does this show, so what changes if he wins the lottery?
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Evan.
All right, Evan.
I
Good to see you.
I heard the tornado room.
Glad you're on video with us.
I heard the tornado. Again, with the under the... unbelievable.
No. I said to Jesse picked up the phone and called me. I said, obviously you weren't on the call yesterday because I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, well, maybe watch the call back and you'll know. Because, yes, all guests are supposed to be on video. Here's the thing. I'm driving. We have a company policy. You're not allowed to be on video while driving.
We're just happy to have you. Get home and do a 5-star Yelp review of the tornado room because I hear that they need some more positive reviews.
See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike.
Do they actually need more positive reviews?
No, you got. I sent you a video. There's a comedian that talked about your favorite restaurant. It's really funny. I came across it, and Evan had
came
seen
across
it
your
already.
desk.
But it did.
Oh,
it
wow.
came across
Stuff
my
comes across
phone.
your desk, too.
Yes. It actually, I saw it shortly before I saw the Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin commercial that we filmed, which is now available. But it was available yesterday, and I just didn't see it. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
I'm the most guaranteed person you could take.
The 2025 NFL Draft.
Is he a lockdown corner? Is he an elite receiving entity?
Round 1 begins Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Mark Tosher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. I love this time of year on the sports calendar. New baseball season underway, basketball playoffs, and speculating what Green Bay will do in the draft. And on top of all that, the weather is getting nicer and the days are getting longer. That means more sunlight and more encouragement to make the energy switch to Everlight Solar. Wouldn't you love to have a way to save money and save the planet? Well, good news. There is a way. It's by making the switch to solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch over the last several years. When we knew we were ready to make the switch, we met with the Everlight Solar team, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. New head coach for women's hoops, Robin Pinchton, introduced to media Tuesday. Pinchton spending the last 15 years coaching the Missouri Tigers, but always kept her eyes on Madison. The new head coach on why she dreamt of this chance, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
There's a blueprint here. So many other sports have had so much success here. I think there's a lot of tremendous players in this state, and I've seen it done here before. Jane Albright, Lisa Stone had some great years, both very good friends of mine, and so I think it's a matter of getting people to believe in each other, working really, really hard, and I think we can create something really special together.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
They did it again. For the 5th time, Siding Unlimited, the 30-year-old Wisconsin family-owned company, is the Pella Window and Door Company's Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year in the whole USA. Siding Unlimited is here in Madison with a dynamic outside-in showroom. See Siding Unlimited's window, door, roofing, deck, and other great outside stuff inside at 2018 South Stoughton Road, south of Buckeye. See Siding Unlimited's frequent Instagram posts or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Thanks, Evan Cohen. We always enjoy our back and forth. I don't love a referendum on Goody because I don't feel like he's like, it's kind of like we talk about when we have a really bad segment, which obviously very rarely happens. But you want your segments to be an A or an F, we've been taught, right? Because if it's so bad that it's an F, it's still kind of an A, right?
Yes,
Goody's nowhere near an F. He's like a B plus A minus. Like I'm getting lambasted for being so critical of him. I give him a B plus. Like, I don't think he sucks, but I do have an issue with what he did about calling out the players and not saying, look, I have to have a sense of urgency too. That I need to get us. I believe we have the talent, but if there's one piece that I can find that puts us over the top, you never know who that is.
Yeah.
And the Jimmy Graham, like, of anybody who's said things, I'm the one. Jimmy Graham was a terrible signing, but they don't win that Seattle playoff game without him.
Well, Marcellus Bennett was a terrible signing, if we're being fair. Jimmy Graham was a bad signing. Okay.
Very fair. So, again, I think we're...
Not signing Jared Cook was the cascade, the domino that brought all these other things. And that is the bigger mistake of all three of them, because that doesn't happen. Jordy Nelson probably still playing if Jared Cook stays on that team.
There's an argument to be made for that, but that was definitely, and that was, again, I think there's also a layer to this that we don't, I have talked about in the past. I don't like to talk about it a lot, but there was a vacuum of leadership during the final years of Ted Thompson's GM period. Mm-hmm. The cognitive issues he was having, and look, I have owned the fact that I should have done a better job because I knew something was going on. I should have dug deeper as a journalist. At the same time, I allowed the fact that I have an affinity for Ted to prevent me from, and I felt like it was a private matter, but it's a public team, so it was a quagmire that I didn't handle well as a reporter. But there's no doubt that there were people that were not the general manager who were making some decisions at that time. And that's one of them. That was a blunder. So
Why don't we open it up for calls? I know you don't want to do a referendum, but
we're going to
because
anyway.
of all this. You what?
But
No.
we're going to anyway.
Okay.
All right, fine. What I don't want it to be Goody sucks or Goody's the best. Like, I want us to be able to have a conversation about this and acknowledge the shortcomings and the successes. I think that's reasonable. Homer
Will you
brought
agree? Will you agree that there's a lot less shortcomings than wins in the Brian Gutekunst column?
Absolutely, I would.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think I've ever not done that. But
what is Goody's? And we'll get to this. What is Goody's biggest failure as the GM?
If you keep saying we'll get to this and keep asking questions, we're just getting to it.
we need to end the 9 o'clock hour. That's what we need to do. The phone number is
today?
The phone number is 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Where do you stand on Goody? Are you a Goody stan? Are you a Goody critic? Or are you somewhere in the middle? I'm saying B+, A-. Give him a grade if that makes it easier for you. But my critique of him was the harshest on what I said about the urgency thing. That is where I felt strongly about it, about him. So we'll talk about this.
I think it's okay.
Want to remind you that whether it's Brian Gutekunst, it's Ted Thompson, it's Ron Wolf, it's Tom Bratz, whoever it might be in the GM chair for the Green Bay Packers, Associated Bank has been there from the very beginning, back in 1919. They've got Packers checking. It's a great perk if you're a Packers fan, but they got so much more to offer. And it's not just Badgers checking or Brewers checking in addition. It's all the great customer service that they provide. Early pay, access to your money up to 2 days early, fraud protection, credit monitoring, 30,000 plus surcharge-free ATMs. They are the place to be. If you haven't made the switch, do what Paul and I did. Make the switch today. Go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. The 10 o'clock hour starts very late in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Bucks back in action tonight, visiting the Philadelphia 76ers. About a week and a half to go in the NBA's regular season. Could Damian Lillard return from the treatment for that blood clot in his right calf in time for the postseason? ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania weighing in yesterday on the Pat McAfee show on ESPN.
My understanding is doctors are encouraged by where it's at. They see that blood clot is actually lowering. It's decreasing. It's diminishing. And he's doing some light workouts right now. He's hopeful to get cleared here in the next week and a half to go full go contact and then resume basketball and play in games for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks Sixers 6 o'clock tip tonight. Listen to it on the flagship 620 WTMJ in Madison. It's available on 1670 The Zone. Brewers baseball here on Madison's home of the Brewers, 100.5 ESPN. Crew starts a 4-game set with the Cincinnati Reds at American Family Field. First pitch set for 6:40 tonight.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now at 10:18. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Look, I get it. There's other stuff, obviously, that we could talk about. Matt LaFleur talked for 34 minutes at the NFC Coaches Breakfast earlier this week. Mark Murphy talked at the end of the NFL meetings. Goody talked at the beginning of the meeting. Like, there's a lot. I got a lot of stuff.
Jason, did you find it interesting that that Roger Goodell was basically parroting Mark Murphy's comments about the tush push?
Yeah, they obviously were on the same page.
We got to get the Chippewa
I find that very
So
interesting.
and you can find this at channel3000.com. Shameless plug. Someone asked Murphy if he had brought the tush push ban proposal at the NFL's behest. I mean, we're always in touch with the league. No, Mark, that was a yes or no question. And then he went into how he made it very clear he's not a former Commander, he's a former Redskin. And he said that he was watching the NFC Championship game, and he was really irritated, as we all were, by Sean Hockley, the referee, essentially threatening that because Washington kept jumping off sides trying to jump the snap count to stop it, and it kept being like a millimeter movement of the ball toward the goal line for half the distance, when Sean Hockley threatened to just award them a touchdown, that was a problem. I think there's more to it than that, but he very clearly took one for the team, even if he won't say it. Because he's not. Because you don't want Jeffrey Lurie in this meeting at Jerry Jones's throat because the Dallas Cowboys were the ones to propose the ban. You don't want billionaires getting into fisticuffs.
No, I think Washington's owner should have done it. That's what should have happened.
Yeah.
Why would? Yeah, that would have made sense.
I agree. But again, okay. I think this was. I think they did this way on purpose. So we'll get into that. Tausch loves to say, we'll get into this, but we're going to get into now Goody's grade. So I didn't want to do a referendum on Goody. We're doing a referendum on Goody. 844-770-3776. We got calls lined up. Your instincts on the money, as always, old
Any
T.
Joes? Any Joes?
We got two Johns and an Eric right now.
Okay.
So let's go to the first John. John, the horse trainer in Cleveland. Now, I don't know if that's Cleveland, Ohio, or Cleveland, Wisconsin, but as someone who has two girls that enjoy horseback riding but don't do it competitively, save John's number for me. I've got some questions for him. John, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, fellas. How are you boys doing?
Which Cleveland are you in?
Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, but I'm from Neenah, Wisconsin.
Oh, you're a Rocket.
Yes, wrestled for the Rockets.
Nice. All right, well, wrestle with this question for us, John. How do you view Goody?
Well, this is a great subject matter because I think about this a lot. And so organizationally, it seems like the power structure, in my opinion, challenges LaFleur and Goody to be relevant to kind of to whoever they're answering to. So you hear Gutekunst's rhetoric, whether it's on ESPN in an article or in an interview, he kind of almost sounds like a head coach sometimes, and I feel like that's contradictory to what Matt LaFleur could be doing or maybe what his needs are. So it almost seems like Goody's needs kind of trump what LaFleur maybe culturally might be thinking. And it seems like LaFleur's done a great job of balancing, Rodgers and all these egos and continuing to kind of schematically put himself in a place to win. And I think all Packer fans can appreciate that. And then the other thing, back to Goody, my second point would be is just maybe his ability to like understand chemistry. You know, you look at Aaron Jones, man. That guy bled green and gold. You know, we all saw him play. You know how he was in the locker room, and I think Josh Jacobs is an absolute workhorse. But you look like at the Eagles, and the way they are pushing things through, they would have found a way to keep Jones and paired him with Jacobs and not sacrifice that chemistry in the locker room, because you took a big wind out of their sails, and you could feel it even as a fan taking that guy out of the organization. And we kind of slapped him in the face a little bit. And, man, I think that had a little bit to do with our slow start. And then we lost. We were injured, but we lost our identity in the passing game. And, you know, Josh Jacobs, we all appreciate him, but somewhere we kind of lost some chemistry there. So, anyways, I won't keep any more of your guys' time, but I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate your call, John. It's a good call. And the point about
kind of nuanced.
Aaron Jones, yes, exactly. That's why I enjoyed it so much.
Call.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And look, Aaron Jones was an 1,100-yard rusher last year. He averaged 4.5 yards a carry. He ran for 5 touchdowns. He had a good year. He did have some nicks and bumps and bruises, but he still carried the ball 255 times, which is, in 2025, a pretty good number of carries. It's not 355 that you blocked for Amon Green on in 2003, but he was productive for them, and we did enjoy that 45-minute window where we thought they were going to have both good. Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs in their backfield. We'll get to more of your calls coming up, so if you're on hold, stay there.
I think John's point on the chemistry, I thought that when he drafted Jordan Love and maybe didn't Goody, and I was critical of Goody. I know Ned and some of the other people that come at me a bunch
Retired
about
Navy
my
fella.
Goody stand-em. I was very critical that Goody didn't look at the big picture on that stuff. You can make that move and do it, and you know, by all accounts, it was the right move. But you have to understand the big picture that you just gave him a contract extension, all of these other things. That's part of the growth that Brian Gutekunst has had to have.
Like Ben Brust.
Like Ben Brust. What do you mean?
From a freshman to a senior. He was the example he used about growth.
No,
So
Ben
Goody
would have
grew.
cut himself.
Ben Brust
Ben would have had to have cut himself and brought in, you know, Rhodey from Virginia to take over for him, like the Badgers just did. That's what would have happened if Ben was doing what Ben says.
So we'll get to more calls in a second. But I do think, and there was that year where Rodgers talked about how he thought, you know, he and Goody were having good conversation, and after he'd been critical, and that was all bunk, right? Like nothing really changed. He was still Brad Pitt in Moneyball, saying I can't get close to these guys. I need to cut him. I mean, that is how he operates, for better or for worse. And we can criticize him, but that's what he believes, because there definitely isn't a relationship. John Schneider has a different approach.
Who would play Goody if we did a Moneyball?
Matt Damon.
Edition? You think Matt Damon's Goody?
So if you saw Air, where Matt Damon plays Sonny Vaccaro, and he was able to put on some weight and look more like, you know, not like Jason Bourne and more like a middle-aged dude, I think he'd be perfect. The Goody movie.
Are you saying Goody's kind of a heavy middle-aged dude, or what?
I would say Goody and I are shaped similarly.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You don't think so?
I don't think Goody'd appreciate that.
I didn't say he was shaped
wrong.
like
I
you.
don't know. Oh, wow.
Is that Goody or Jason in
Goody's
training
shaped
camp?
like
I can't tell.
I think Goody's more muscular than you are. I do. Jesse, be the deciding
football
vote.
Fans.
Oh, look, we got something else to talk about.
Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone, where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. So don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. We'll get to more of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets for the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you'll be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois. Age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at UWHoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or, looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no-obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at MetroKiaofMadison.com. That's MetroKiaofMadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Get ready, Madison. The Packers Tailgate Tour rolls back into town on Wednesday, April 9th. Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join us in supporting Dairyland Sports, a Madison-based nonprofit improving access to sports, fitness, and recreation for individuals with physical disabilities in Wisconsin. Learn more and support the cause at dairylandsports.org/Packers Tailgate. And stay tuned to ESPN Madison for your chance to win VIP tickets to the Packers Tailgate Tour. Sponsored by Visit Verona, Paul's Party, and ESPN Madison.
Welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft on ESPN Radio.
The NFL Draft is now underway.
Live from historic Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
With the first pick.
Thursday, April 24th on ESPN Radio, ESPN, and on ABC.
Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. Messing with my head, how I'm missing your eye. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me. Leave before you love me. Leave before you love me.
said I didn't want to do a referendum on Brian Gutekunst. So we're doing a referendum on Brian Gutekunst. Give us your grades. Give us your opinion on the Packers GM. 844-770-3776. Let's get back to your calls. Let's go to another John. This one located in Franklin. John, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. Fantastic. Thanks for taking my call.
God, you're always in a different location, and it's been way too long since you called. What's the deal?
Can you just pick one location to be John and wherever, John?
I have customers all over the place, and I have to do my job. So
thank you for your service.
Yes. But, like, just where do you live?
I think we're spoiled.
He lives
I
in his
live
car.
in West Bend.
Okay. We're huge in West Bend, so that's good to know.
That's our
Traveling
number one
John.
territory.
It could be traveling
But he's
Traveling
currently
John.
in Franklin, in John's defense.
Traveling
Just
John.
leave
I
John
like it.
alone.
John,
John, get to his point.
John, the floor is yours.
I feel very spoiled as a Packer fan, as in the GM area, from Ron to Ted to now Brian Gutekunst. When you see other teams lose Hall of Fame players, they usually go to the bowels and they're there forever, and they don't necessarily bounce back. Hence, our neighbors to the north who are still living in 1985. And the fact that Brian Gutekunst was able to go away from 3 Hall of Famers, if David Bakhtiari makes it, when you think of Rodgers, Adams, and David Bakhtiari, and the fact that we're still relevant and competitive, we should feel spoiled. We all, I want this guy. We should have that guy. Why didn't he go get him? Well, that's going to happen. Think back to the years when we never went after free agents and never got them, and the fact of what he did last year. So I know that I can't do a better job because I don't know all the money and all the ins and outs, and I know a lot of people think that they can. I just feel very spoiled that we have people making the decisions that keep our team relevant and in the hunt for the playoffs and hopefully a title.
All right, so
That's my grade.
So John, let me ask you this, and I agree, you're not qualified to be the Packers GM. You're 100% right about that. Neither am I. Tausch is probably the most qualified of any of us, which I don't know how much that's saying. But I am curious how much of being a great GM, whether like Ron Wolf will tell you, he's in the Hall of Fame largely because of one thing he did. He traded for Brett Favre. So how much of getting the quarterback right gives you, and right, historically right, like Hall of Fame good right, how much of that gives you leeway as a general manager then? And if Jordan Love is that level of a quarterback, they will win a title. If he's not, then Goody's going to have to be even better than Ted and Ron were with other moves if they're going to win a title, if Love is not as good. Do you think that's a fair critique?
Yes, and he has to be better than Ron and Ted because the times have changed with, where guys go and the powers that players have of trade me and I'm out of here, because in the past they would say trade me and they'd go, got you under contract, tough, sorry. So he has to be better, and yes, getting one of those Hall of Famers under you that you identified is going to give you that feather in the cap. I think he can be that. I think Jordan Love can be better than Rodgers because it takes years to develop, and I'm holding out hope because I love the fact that he doesn't seem to get wigged out in stressful times. He still seems calm, cool, and collective. I'm going to wrap it up to injuries last year that didn't give us the performances that we want, but I still believe that we saw glimpses of it, of what he could be, and I feel he can get there.
Yeah, you may very well be right. Thanks for the call, John, in Franklin, West Bend, wherever you may be.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to have the individual career that Aaron Rodgers had.
No. But he can still have a very, very good career.
He could win, and he could still win more championships. Because
Also true.
Brian Gutekunst has put the roster and the rest of the team in a better spot than maybe Aaron had at some points in his career. That's what I think could happen.
Let's get to another call. Let's go to Eric in Green Bay. Eric, good morning. Thanks for holding on, buddy. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I'll try to keep it a little bit brief today. There's a lot of different angles, obviously, you guys have dissected, whether it's free agency. I think you can look at the Aaron Rodgers situation, too, in its own lens. And then the draft, obviously, a lot of the first-round misses, but then, kind of making up for it with some good, deep depth things. I think what it comes down to for me is at the end of the day, we consistently have a competitive team. So I would go kind of in that B to B plus average. Anything A or over, you're talking elite, you're talking Super Bowl appearances at the very least, or multiple Super Bowl appearances, right? I don't know. When I was in grad school, the expectation was you had to maintain a B average to maintain your status in the program. And I think that's kind of where he is. Like, he's not on the hot seat, but he's just he's maintaining that B average. We consistently have a competitive team that's in the playoffs or close to the playoffs, and that has a puncher's chance. I don't think he should be celebrated more than that, but I don't think he should necessarily be criticized more than that either.
I appreciate your brevity. Thanks for the call, Eric.
Too. Very nuanced.
I thought it was
I don't know why you didn't want to take calls, a referendum. You're getting everything you want.
I am getting.
There's nuance. There is nuance
exactly what I want.
Flying around here.
What do you make of Eric's position? I thought that was a pretty good argument.
Yeah, I think he's underplaying it a little bit, but I'm not going to crush Eric on it because he's not saying that Goody's doesn't have urgency, and he's saying this is a good team with a puncher's chance. There's more than a puncher's chance, guys. There's just been more than puncher's chances under the Gutekunst era. Mm-hmm. You don't get the 1 seed. You don't get to play home games and not even have to play on opening weekend. You don't get a lead in San Francisco with a first-year quarterback, and you have everything sitting there. You didn't get it done, no doubt.
Your rookie kicker misses a crucial kick that you drafted.
That's more than a puncher's chance. So let's not act like we're sitting here and, maybe we'll flail and hit somebody. No, I'm not going to I won't agree with that part of it, but his overall theme of his call, I think, is fair. I think I think Eric underplayed it a bit, though.
You would never underplay your love of Coors Light, however. You are always very clear about that. I get very emotional when I'm talking about Coors Light.
I was going to say, Jace, get choked up a little bit. Brewed with that 3-step cold process called lager, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978. Coors Light is refreshing, it is crisp, and is only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
More of your calls next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2025.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. So let it get away on the road. But you got no destination in the mind.
All right, let's get to a couple more calls, then we'll get to your texts from the carbless talking text line. Less is more. Hey, are they projecting those logos onto the pitcher's mound? Is that like a digitized thing, like when the snow game is going on in football and you can see the lines even though you can't really see the lines?
Sometimes it is, but not always. I think the carbless one is painted. Because
Well, that's what I saw carbless on there. They're a great partner of ours, and I saw that. I was like, wow. But then some games I feel like I'm watching and it like the logo changes. Like it could be Quick Trip one inning, and then it's Kohler Services the next. I wasn't sure.
I think it varies, but there was a replay like from third base, and the logo was still very visible there. Normally when there's a replay, you can't see it if it's digitized on there. So I think
Tausch is fascinated by this. Look at Tausch's face right now. He's like, "What the heck are these two morons doing?"
Someone who's been to
I don't think.
If you've been to a game,
Jesse
just let us
knows.
know. Just text us if you've been to a game, and you can tell us. In the first 3 games.
Where's Usher George when we need him?
Yeah.
Let's get back to a couple of your calls. We had 2 Johns, now we've got a Derek and a Dave. Let's go to Derek first.
We actually had an Eric and a Derek.
Also true. Well done. I prefer alliteration over rhyming, but that's another discussion for another day. Derek in Lake Geneva. Good morning, Derek. How you doing? Thanks for holding on. What do you got?
Gentlemen, good morning. First off, I'm highly offended by Kyle's comments about you guys. I can't believe you'd say stuff like that. But that aside, I can really give Goody no more than a C+, honestly. He's great at getting rid of individuals a year too early versus a year too late. I'll give him, A's in that category. I really wish he would take the same approach with our scouting department. Tausch, you would know who the scouts are far better than I do, but they're always trying to find diamonds in the rough, and they're coming up with fool's gold. As fans, we can no longer tolerate that. I think this is the year Goody has to save face. I haven't heard one person talking about this. We need a wide receiver and a cornerback. What if the guy jumps up and takes Hunter at number 3? Let's not talk about Green Bay on Thursday. Let's talk about Green Bay on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is the year the guy needs to save face. He knows he does. Everybody else knows he does. He can't swing and miss like he's done on first, second, and third rounders and fourth rounders consecutively. Rashawn Gary is what he is. Everybody knew that. Goody's holding out hope, gave him an additional contract. Lucas Van Ness, he's going to have to save face with that guy next year. Don't know if it's going to happen. Again, if he takes an outside pass rusher this year and doesn't make a bold move, he's basically acknowledging that he swings and misses on these D linemen more often than not. I just don't think he can afford to do that any longer.
So this is an interesting call, and thanks, Derek. I appreciate it because
C+ seems
that is a low grade.
We agree C+ seems a little low.
So here's what I want to take from Derek's call, though, before we get to Dave.
I'll tell you this. I love Travis Hunter idea. You're getting two for the price of one.
Beat you.
Number 1 wide receiver and number 1 corner.
Yeah. You got a shutdown corner and your speed. Yeah, I'm all in. I like his idea. Let's make a move, Goody.
Yeah, he's not trading up for Travis Hunter. But here's the thing that I've heard a promo of you, and it's not of you predicting the Badgers in the Final Four, although I've heard that too. It's of you saying that some seats are going to be warm if this season doesn't go well. Yeah. I'm curious, do you believe that would include the general manager? Because I know it includes the coach, and I know it would include some of the players. Do you believe that if this is another 10-7, 9-8, make the playoffs, lose in the first round on the road like it was this year, would that make any seats warm, in your opinion? And would it specifically make Goody's in any way a little warmer?
Yeah, if I was tiering it, LaFleur would be here. But, yeah, Goody would be there too. This is much to the chagrin of some people that are very critical of me. This is a place that you have to win. And there is an accountability that comes with that. I don't think if they go 11-6 and get knocked out, I don't think everybody's getting fired. But what I do think is you'll see and hear and feel, talk about urgency. And by the way, there's a new sheriff coming to town.
Ed policy.
What do new sheriffs typically do?
They hire new deputies.
If they want their own people. Now, obviously, Ed has been here for a while, and they've had a lot of success. And if the train is running, nobody's getting mad. Nobody's doing anything. But if trains keep getting delayed and you're not getting to your destination when you're supposed to, you got to start wondering where my engineers aren't getting it done. I got to start looking around. And it's a lot easier when it's something you always want to have your own people. Right now, Ed Policy's like, oh, these are my guys.
Uh-huh.
But they're not
just
hired
like Mark
by
Murphy
him.
Inherited Ted and Mike.
Exactly. And there was a lot of success, and it's a lot easier when you win a championship, no doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, yes, there is an expectation. Everybody up there knows it. There's an expectation. You got to win. You got to win big. And if it doesn't go well this season and you don't make the draft picks and guys aren't developing, seats will warm, no doubt.
All right, we'll get to some of your text messages. We'll play double Wisconsin Geography Thursday trivia in the 11 o'clock hour, but we'll get to some of your texts on the Carbless Talk and text line 844-770-3776 next. Want to remind you, as I've been telling you all week, ESPN's Fantasy Football Focus podcast is coming to Green Bay on April 23rd. It's Field Yates, it's Daniel Dopp, it's Mike Clay, it's Liz Loza, and it's Stefania Bell. They're all doing their live show of the Fantasy Focus Football podcast at the Tundra Trio. And ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller number 10, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776, wins 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Football Live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, get complimentary food and beverages, and you'll get some Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch as well. That's caller 10 right now, 844-770-3776. Go to ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details. Your texts next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You, rah, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Shop Beauty Rest Black mattresses at Steinhoffels. The new Beauty Rest Black is only $42 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing only at Steinhoffels. New head coach for women's hoops, Robin Pinchton, introduced to media Tuesday. Pinchton spending the last 15 years coaching the Missouri Tigers, but always kept her eyes on Madison. The new head coach on why she dreamt of this chance. Audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
There's a blueprint here. So many other sports have had so much success here. I think there's a lot of tremendous players in this state, and I've seen it done here before. And so I think it's a matter of getting people to believe in each other, working really, really hard, and I think we can create something really special together.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella Windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
Is it Waukesha or Waukesha? Brat or Brat? Is it ever okay to vacation in Minnesota? Wisconsinites can't agree on everything, but we can agree getting paid earlier is better. That's why UW Credit Union is making members direct deposits available up to 2 days earlier. Early payday at UW Credit Union. Join today. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit uwcu.org for details.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Outside Decker, it's a 3. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe, a special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky, the drop stab,
that's his favorite.
And the 2.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Metro Ford Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordOfMadison.com. That's MetroFordOfMadison.com.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6. And follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison. Because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, they have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
We're on the Packers.
I just don't feel like Goody hits the home runs that merit holding on to draft picks like they're absolute gold. Because his first-round draft pick isn't gold.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
We'll put a bow on this, or maybe we won't, since I said we weren't doing a referendum and we did a referendum. Let's go to one more call first, though. Let's go to Dave in Madison. Dave, good morning. Thanks for holding on so long. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you. Old-time Packer fan. Okay, grew up in Lombardi years, so I have high expectations for the Packers. In 11-6, losing to all good teams, that's a nothing season. Okay, that's nothing to be celebrated. I give Goody a C. Okay, and I'm going to go down some points why I grade that way. You know, I've heard these free agent talk. Okay, and last year, yeah, he signed 2 good free agents. Why did he do that? Because his first round pick, Darnell Savage, was just average at best. His second round pick, A.J. Dillon, was just a guy. So he fixed mistakes. Okay. Draft better. Point number 2, he consistently overpays his guys. He overrates and overpays the guys he drafts. Rashawn Gary, highly paid for a very average player. Don't tell me he's an all-pro. Everyone laughs about that selection. Okay. Kenny Clark, third contract there. What did he give us? The worst year of his career. And the biggest mistake he made last year is Jordan Love. A top 15 quarterback who he pays like a top 5 guy. Okay, that's going to really hurt the Packers in 2 years. If you talk about the Packer talent, I think a good way to look at it is what does the NFL think about it? Well, let's look at their free agents. Their starting center signed with the Jets. He's a backup. That's what they think of him. Eric Stokes, another Goody first-round pick, and the starting center was a Goody second-round pick. Eric Stokes, a first-round pick, minimum, will try you for 4 years, okay? These guys are nothing special at all. Some of his other picks, I know, I hear you guys talking about the Christian Watson, second round. He's a porcelain MVS, okay? You know what? I was looking at NFL stats. The number that strikes me for Christian Watson is 165. That's the number of players in the NFL last year who caught more passes than Christian Watson. It averages over 5 guys for every other team. Okay, he's not some big threat. I mean, it's incredibly overrated again. But the biggest point here I have with Goody is Aaron Rodgers. Okay, and his numerous mistakes with Rodgers. First off, he paid Rodgers a contract extension when he was already under contract, okay? How did that work out? It worked out with $41 million of dead money, okay? 2, he traded him too late. A year before, he would have got double. After Rodgers showed in the San Francisco game that he wasn't going to win the big games anymore. You couldn't count on him. He could have got double the take for Rodgers. He didn't, okay? And more importantly, or most importantly, there were years in there where Rodgers was the best quarterback in the NFL. The Packers never made it to the Super Bowl. Okay, let's look at another team, Kansas City, who has a great quarterback. Okay, but they don't win the same way every year. Rodgers doesn't have, Mahomes doesn't have to be fantastic. Mahomes doesn't have to be fantastic like Rodgers was in the Super Bowl. Okay, the Packers had the best quarterback. The Kansas City changes. They get the players they need to fit their system, or they change their system to win. I mean, they've been in the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. That's incredible. That's who I want for my GM, okay? A guy who can adapt, has good players, but assembles a squad around them to win. Goody hasn't done that.
Quick question for you. Is that Andy Reid? or is that John Dorsey, Brett Veach, everybody else?
That's both, okay? That's both. Andy Reid's a very good coach, no doubt. But hey, if he says, hey, I have to change it. We're not as good. Our defense, let's get some guys who can think. That's what they do. They plug in those holes. They don't have a bunch of superstars there. I mean, they have some good players, but they plug in holes to win. Goody doesn't do that, okay? He'll stick with this guy. I mean, like Van Ness. He'll stick with him until he finally has to get rid of him, like Eric Stokes. I mean, no, I don't think the Packers ever win a Super Bowl under Goody, and as a Packer fan, that's the measure of success. Okay, we are not the Detroit Lions who hang a banner because we won our division. This is the Green Bay Packers. We should expect far more.
Dave, you really put a lot of effort into this call, and I think you raised some really good points. I really do.
No doubt.
And so we appreciate this. We're going to sound graph you. You'll get no royalties, but we'll put your call to good use on social media channels. Thanks. Look, do I think his critique is a little bit harsh for my liking? I do. The porcelain MVS line was really good, by the way, and I like Christian Watson.
Sounds like you do.
No, I can have an appreciation for a good line. I mean, that's a good line. I don't agree with it. Like, he was pretty durable last year until he tore his ACL in a game he shouldn't have been playing in. But I think he lays out a lot of reasonable, calmly delivered points that would be counterpoints to all the flowers and bouquets that the Goody fans throw in his direction. I still am not giving him lower than a B+. But Dave made me think. There's no denying that.
All of the points Dave brought up, again, great call. I'm not arguing that, and he did refute a lot of things. But I just this is a results business. This is a results business. And he's trying to compare it to Kansas City. Kansas City's had 2 GMs in this little run. And you could say what you want. Well, they have. John Dorsey drafted Patrick Mahomes. Tell me if I'm wrong on that.
So Brett Veach has been their general manager. So they've gone. His first year as GM was 2017. So yes, I by the way, I wasn't contemplating whether John Dorsey drafted Mahomes.
Okay.
He did, but no matter where you go, the lights go out.
That's what they say.
So, but during their Super Bowl runs, Veach has been the GM the whole time, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, I would love for us to be in Kansas City's position. I'd love to see us doing the things like that and quarterbacking and all this other stuff. It was a good call. There's a lot of points that I think you could bring up, and if you're going to be on the Goody is a below average. C is what? Below average, right? C plus is a little above average, or C just
C is average.
Average.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want it, but you don't want your kids getting C's.
I don't. You're right.
Don't.
I don't want them getting all A's either. All right. I think we should get to a few texts, Jesse, because I think you've got a few curated. So let's get to those. Then we'll do trivia after that. Tausch, we missed our window to tell us about Quick Trip, so it feels like now's a good time for you to tell us about it instead.
Yeah, life is busy. Miss some reads once in a while. Quick Trip gets it, whether you're craving that fresh coffee, tasty bakery treat, or a grab-and-go meal. Quick Trip is your go-to. And, man, I'll tell you what, when I was gone, I missed Quick Trip. I missed the tenders. I missed the chicken. You know what? Now is great because we're getting back. You get that variety of 1.5 quarts of ice cream. I love it. For $2.99, I love those ones with the little caramel sundaes, the little turtles. That's my favorite.
Next thing you'll be photoshopped as a turtle instead of a big bird.
Maybe, but they also deals are aplenty on other stuff. Bananas, jumbo onions, baking potatoes, all 29 cents a pound, plus a Nature's Touch. Cream cheese for just 99 cents. Specialty drinks, 12-ounce frappes, cold brew smoothies, $1.49. Bam, bam, bam. Roasted whole chicken on special, $6.99 Mondays. Whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go, Quick Trip is the ultimate destination. Fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. You can order ahead for pickup or curbside. Quick Trip, we'll see you next time.
We'll get to your texts, and then we'll get to trivia in the 11 o'clock hour, which starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball on ESPN Madison. Don't miss the special radio broadcast of the spring match at the Fieldhouse Wednesday, April 16th, featuring Wisconsin hosting Marquette right here on Madison's home of Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball, 100.5 ESPN. Also, Madison's home of the Bucks. Tonight, the Bucks visiting the Philadelphia 76ers, 6 o'clock tip time. Of course, about 10 days to go in the NBA's regular season. Speculation now beginning that Damian Lillard may be able to return from treatment for that blood clot in his right calf that's kept him out the last couple of weeks. ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania yesterday on the Pat McAfee Show on ESPN.
My understanding is doctors are encouraged by where it's at. They see that blood clot is actually lowering. It's decreasing. It's diminishing. And he's doing some light workouts right now. He's hopeful to get cleared here in the next week and a half to go full go contact and then resume basketball and play in games for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bucks Sixers, 6 o'clock tonight. Listen to it in Madison on 1670 The Zone and on the flagship 620 WTMJ. Brewers Reds on ESPN Madison tonight.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now, and it begins... Jesse, it's been a very quiet show for you. Especially after, maybe how feel good. Nelly went earlier in the week, and then we had yesterday with the whole KBN thing that took over. Did you hear this?
Maybe there's a reason it's been a quiet show.
So
My segments have sucked this week.
Well, here's another chance. There's another chance for you to make good.
I am hosting the Jump Around today at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Rutledge must be off.
He is. Yeah, Pablo Iglesias and I talking Badgers. 12:30 today.
Sorry, Pablo.
Tune in.
Jesse, what do you have on the Carbless Talk and Text line, the text portion?
This one from a 920 number who forgot to give us the name. Remember, provide your name and where you're texting from so we can give you a proper courtesy. Goody gets an A from the 920. Sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make. For example, Claypool. People think this is Madden or fantasy football, and it's as easy as just getting great players all the time at every position. Can he draft better in round 1? Sure. But that's the case for 28 other GMs who have a worse team than Green Bay. Green Bay drafts in no man's land 20 to 28 because they have a good team every year.
It's fair. It's a fair point. A- is higher than I would give him. But there are, as Ted Thompson taught us, every time you pick, there are good players available. You just have to pick the right ones. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Is Travis Hunter going to be available at 23?
He's not.
No, he is not. Still hard to believe that Aaron Rodgers was available at 24 20 years ago. But again, Terry McLaurin is available when you pick Jace Sternberger. Creed Humphrey is available.
What if Shedeur Sanders is available?
Is he the best player on the board?
I don't know. Goody Stan, what do you think Goody should do?
What if Goody's got him ranked as a top 20 guy, and he drops to
Say he's got him
23?
as a top 10 guy, and he falls to 20.
I call the Saints.
Yeah, that's fair.
Call the Raiders. Call the Giants. Call the Jets. Make some calls.
They will all have passed on him at that point. I will say this. Once upon a time, the Cleveland Browns, and actually Joe Thomas brought this up last Friday, that 2007 draft when they got Joe Thomas, they also drafted Brady Quinn, and they were desperately seeking an opportunity to move up to take Brady Quinn. And they called Ted, who told us the whole story, which was nice of him, after he got booed by the fans at the draft party for his pick, which turned out to be fair. They were offering their first-round pick and a first-round pick the next year to go up so they could take Brady Quinn at 16. And Ted kept the pick and took Justin Harrell. So sometimes, even really good GMs make big mistakes, and that was one of Ted's big mistakes. What else you got from a text perspective?
This is a long one, but
jeez, what is this, a Wilde question?
Kinda, yeah. From a 262. Again, give us your name and where you're texted from. Goody gets a B from the 262, but he has one significant flaw that keeps us from being excellent. Too many of his higher draft picks don't fit our scheme and don't end up playing to their full potential. That really hurt us in the 3-4 with outside linebackers that were really down linemen and is currently hurting us on offense with the offensive line. Jacobs not running outside zone, which is the basis of our scheme. Great teams match talent and scheme. GM's job is to get good talent that works in the coach's scheme. Got into the
It's an
X's and
interesting
O's there,
point.
but yeah.
It's an interesting.
A lot of good fan interaction today.
Yeah, no nuance.
A lot of good fan interaction.
I couldn't be happier today with everybody other than the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments.
Yeah, I was going to say the chat really brought you down for
it
half
bothered
hour
me.
or so.
I just don't want to be
It
inaccurately
shouldn't, but
portrayed.
I get it.
I think that's a reasonable thing. But be that as it may.
Bumping gums, the big gum bumper.
I love it when you bump your big gums. Yeah. All right. So, what do you think about that point that 262 makes there about? Because look, I don't think that there is a true partnership when it comes to personnel decisions. I don't think. Again, I'm not saying that they have a bad relationship. I'm not saying they hate each other. I'm not saying it's contentious. I'm just saying that Goody picks the players.
So what are you saying? If you're not going to say those things, what are you saying?
I'm saying that Goody picks the players, and it's Matt's job to figure out how to use them, and he doesn't really have a whole lot of use for what Matt's opinion might be.
He's not going to get a player that Matt doesn't want. Will he?
I think Matt LaFleur used up whatever juice he had when they took Josiah DeGuara. Because I think Goody took him for Matt, and Matt said, we're not doing this anymore.
That's fair.
That's just an opinion. That is not a fact. But the fact of the matter that does exist
So
is that
you think there is something to 262's text that Goody just picks the best players, scheme but damned?
Well, so they've been a 3-4, they've been a 4-3. I would argue that here's the problem with that text. So Rashawn Gary played with his hand in the dirt at Michigan. They draft him. They make him an outside linebacker. He basically redshirts his rookie year behind the two Smith brothers. He has production on and off in 2020, 2021, tears his ACL. But now they've gone back to a 4-3, which should be something that he, because he did it at Michigan, should thrive in, and then he didn't thrive in that either. So is it possible that he's not elite and he wasn't worth his contract and it wasn't a great first-round pick? Is it just because of the ACL? I don't know what it is with him. He is vexing to me because I feel like he's not as bad as people think he is, but he's not as good as people wanted him to be. And he's in another critical year himself. That seat warming thing that you said, he's a guy, he needs a big year this year to show that he is who we thought he was or hoped he was. Don't you agree?
I would guess the guaranteed part of his contract is probably coming to an end. So, yeah, Rashawn Gary needs to have a big year. He'll be you could check the contract details on that. But, yeah, the bottom line is, old boy that called, and I forget his John, and had
Dave.
a lot of good points there. Dave. John was earlier. Dave's points on these players not elevating their game. Guys are either going to play well and earn new contracts, play well and keep their existing contract, or, yeah, it's going to be heads are going to spin. And when that happens, GMs there is a sense of urgency because last year was disappointing. There is. I just have a hard time when people are saying that the general manager and the coaches don't feel that or aren't doing things about it. That I just bunk. That's Bunk City, USA. Now, whether or not it's going to change, as you know, things have to go right in a football season. But the fact that you don't think they're urgent or don't want to win, you don't know the business if that's what you think.
So Rashawn Gary had an $8.7 million roster bonus due the third day of the league year. He's still on the roster, so clearly he received that. His base salary for this year is just $7 million. There's still the signing bonus proration from that $94 million deal, which included $35 million in signing bonus. His cap hit for this year is $25.7 million. Now, if they converted that that roster bonus to a signing bonus, that number comes down and they spread it around. I can't remember if they did that. I assume they did. His cap numbers for the next 2 years, though, as of right now, without a roster bonus to fudge around with, 28 and 31 for 26 and 27.
It's decision time.
It is.
This will be decision
You're
time.
right. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. All right. Those are the texts that we received. Again, remember.
So if Rashawn Gary has the same year this year as he did last year as he does this year.
This is where Goody says he went to the Pro Bowl.
Will he be on the team in 26? Yeah, he was a Pro Bowler. Will he be on the team in 26 with the numbers you just dictated?
So Rashawn Gary finished the season with 7.5 sacks. That's a lot of scratch to pay for 7.5 sacks. His pressure numbers were lower than they had been previously.
Okay.
So, again, back to the point of I can't remember who that was. It might have been Dave on that call.
I didn't hear you say yes or no. I missed that.
Hold on a
say
second.
Yes or no?
Well, I didn't say either yet.
I think he knew you didn't say either yet.
I think he did too. My point on Rashawn Gary is like Dave was saying, they keep guys until they're no longer productive. I think he's a first-round pick who's going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I think Goody would have a hard time parting ways with him. Now, they might do a restructure. They may ask him to take to restructure with a pay cut that he can earn back through incentives for 26. I think Goody would have a hard time swallowing that and releasing him because pass rushers are hard to find. And even if he hasn't been as good as you hoped, you would be fearful of moving on from him and having him go be productive somewhere else. So, no, I don't think they would cut him after 2025. That's my answer.
Okay.
But they got to dream fearlessly.
Glad you got there so succinctly. That was well done.
Nuance.
I don't think he meant that either.
He didn't.
You know what I mean? American Family Insurance, proud sponsor of Wilde and Tausch. We love American Family Insurance. For almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, all so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
So according to, and we're going to play trivia next, but according to Pro Football Reference, Rashawn Gary's extended pass rush numbers. His pressures for 2024, 26. That was down from 30 in 2023 and 47 in his last full season before that, because he tore the ACL in 22. He had 47 pressures back in 2021 when he had 9.5 sacks. So the number is going in the wrong direction there, both in terms of sacks and pressures. The number we need is for you to call 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 5 and caller 10. Caller 5 and caller 10 to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, 844-770-3776. We will play it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in making the most of what you love, making sure your money is as well spent as your time. So as you start your spring projects, we have the value you need to make them your own. Right now, Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase, 7-pound bags of Blaine's brand Cardinal Songbird food, 2 for $12, plus select Diamond Crystal Softener Salt, $7.50 for Rewards members. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Get up. Get out of here. Gone.
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by J&K Security Solutions and Revive Restoration.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in Sport 30-2025.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Let's play some trivia. Wisconsin geography trivia times 2. Let's welcome in our contestants. Caller number 5 is Barry in Milwaukee. Barry, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Morning, guys. Love you.
Nice. I love you to begin instead of at the end.
Guys.
Love it.
Barry.
And
Absolutely.
caller 10 is Bill in New Berlin. Bill, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We are good. All right, so Jesse, before we start, we've got Up North Joe's potato geography questions.
Yes,
and
we do.
Jesse's county geography questions. Is that correct?
I wanted to do 2 categories that Tausch loves as subcategories of geography, which he loves in general. So
Potatoes for sale.
Potatoes
for sale.
and counties, your 2 subcategories.
I do like both. I do enjoy both.
All right,
That's
so
great.
Barry, since you were the first of the 2 callers, you get to choose. Do you want Up North Joe's potato geography trivia or Jesse's trivia?
Let's go up north.
I like it. Bold.
Up north.
He's
All
going
right,
to
here we go.
regret it.
Question. He's going to regret it, Jesse says. Love you, Barry. Good luck.
Love
Here
you
it is.
guys.
Question 1 for Barry in Up North Joe's potato geography trivia. Which of the following Wisconsin towns was once dubbed the potato capital of the world? Was it Kimberly, Wapaka, or Mashville?
Nice. That's good.
Smashville.
Wait, did you do that on purpose?
You said Mashville, yeah.
Wapaka.
Well, I don't
think
know.
he was making a joke.
I think
there.
he was too. I'm going to
This
give
is
him
going to put
Kimberly,
Jesse in a
right?
tight spot.
It's not Kimberly.
Kimberly
It's Wapaka.
All right.
This is going to put
Wapaka,
Jesse.
okay.
He knew it
That's
wasn't
the capital of the
Mashville.
potato corridor.
Let's go to the official review. Tausch, do you think Mashville was said in jest, or do you think Mashville was a legitimate answer?
It was completely jestful.
All right.
All right. 1 for 1 for Barry. I thought that was pretty self-evident, but I'm glad we've confirmed it with the king.
Got to go to the replay review sometimes.
All right. 1 for 1 for Barry. Bill, your question number 1 is this. In Jesse's county geography questions, Sussex, Brookfield, and Mugwanago are all Wisconsin cities located in which county? Is it Waukesha, Milwaukee, or Rusk?
Let's go with Waukesha.
You are correct. You're 1 for 1 as well.
All right.
I hear Mashville is also located there. All right, question 2 for Barry is this. Of the top 3 potato-producing states in the U.S., oh, my God, which state has the capital city that is latitudinally the farthest north? Okay? So these are apparently the 3 top potato-producing states. Which one's capital is the farthest north latitudinally? Wow. All right.
Okay.
Congrats
So the top-
Up North Joe and Mrs. Joe on their new child. Congrats to them. Remember that as we get after them here.
So which of these states has the farthest north capital? Is it Washington, Wisconsin, or Idaho?
Oh man.
Yeah, that's what I think
Either
too.
Idaho or Washington. I'm gonna go Idaho.
Bold, but wrong.
Washington.
It is Washington. You had it narrowed down. It was not Madison, Wisconsin, so good job on that. But Washington is the correct answer. All right, Bill, your turn.
That was question 2.
I know. I'm aware. Question 2, Bill. Longitudinally.
Oh boy.
Which of these Wisconsin counties is located farthest east? Farthest east of these 3 counties. Is it Calumet, Clark, or Columbia?
Oh gosh.
Or Idaho.
Yeah. I'll go with total guess. I'll go with Columbia.
Tausch, agree or disagree?
Trying to piece together where Calumet is. I think it's Clark. I'm going to say Clark.
You guys tagged up, and neither of you is right.
Oh, shit.
Calumet is the correct answer.
Is that
it was said in Jet.
East of Lake Winnebago. Yes, east of Winnebago.
Yeah, it's over in the
It's up by me there.
Yep.
All right.
That's on me.
So now everybody has to bounce back here. Question 3 first to Barry. And you're getting buried with these questions, Barry. These are tough.
This is tough. Yeah.
Well, you did choose this, in fairness.
I did.
Accounting for roughly 70% of planted acres, which of the following is the most grown variety of potato in Wisconsin?
Interesting. Not sure how it's Wisconsin geography.
Well, it's the potato of Wisconsin. All right, so 70% of the potatoes that are planted in Wisconsin are Russet, Yukon Gold, or King Edward?
Russet.
Good one.
Well done. I didn't even know there was a King Edward potato.
Never heard of them.
Congratulations, you got
King
that
Edward
one.
potatoes are, I believe, there's a fast food place that likes the long French fry out of the potato, and I think that's where they get them. That is based out of Idaho.
You're my potato guy. All right. Question 3 for you, Bill.
What kind of ice cream do you dip those fries in?
No, I didn't say what the name of the restaurant
Yeah, I was wondering which one. I don't know which one you're talking about. So
Do they have ice cream there so you can tell us which one it is?
No, I'm not doing that.
Okay. No. Question 3, Bill, is this. Which of these Wisconsin counties does not directly border Dane County? Okay, this county does not directly border Dane County. Is it Iowa County that doesn't border Dane County, Greene County, or Juneau County?
Pretty sure Juneau does. Let's see. Let's go with Greene County.
I don't think Juneau does.
It doesn't? Oh, man.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Again, as is often the case with trivia, we will reconfirm with a fact check, but I think Jesse and Tausch are right. Unfortunately, Bill, that makes you incorrect.
Yeah.
Juneau would be the correct answer, I'm being told. All right, so here's where we stand.
Good little set there. Good
Barry,
little set. Made you think a lot. You
are the King Edward of potato trivia. You got 2 out of 3 correct. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Love you guys. I love you guys.
And Bill, it was not great, but hey, you still got 1 right. That still means you got 2 of the entries into tomorrow's drawing, or Mondays if Jesse forgets. So you still have a shot. We appreciate your loyalty to the show, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Didn't get blanked, so I'm happy about that. Thanks,
exactly. No skunking. That's a good thing. All right. That is Wilde and Tausch trivia. We've got Whoa Nelly coming up next. The triumphant or not so triumphant return of an actual Whoa Nelly is scheduled to come next. But before we can do that, nope, never mind. Don't have to do anything right now. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Dynamite job.
Thank you.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select Wisconsin Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules and full details, visit www.espnwisconsincontest.com.
Dear Brewers fans, where do you find the best views and the most electrifying baseball action American Family Field has to offer? The answer is Toyota Territory, located in right field. This Grand Slam experience covers all the bases and gives fans in the stands an exclusive live look at our home run hitter, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Creating a lasting legacy, the Toyota Land Cruiser is seasoned to perform like your Milwaukee Brewers. Add Toyota to your lineup today. Now batting, Toyota.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wilde? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's #1 pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2025.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordOfMadison.com. That's MetroFordOfMadison.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Brewers baseball is back.
Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Vinny Capra!
Hear the sound of summer right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Upon further review, I did have something to tell you about at the end of that last segment, and it was Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Hopefully you never have to make the call, because that means you've never been seriously injured in an accident. But if you have been, there is only one call to make, and David and his team are the best in the business, no matter what anybody else says and whatever claims they may make. David and his team have the track record to prove it. They will fight for you, and you will not pay until you win. So go to gruber-law.com to find out more about the firm, or make the call, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
A big urinator.
Tausch and I shared an off-air moment there, but Tausch's was on air.
Yeah, you guys couldn't just let that go, could you?
I didn't jump in and interject like you do. I let it go until I didn't.
You're peeing me off right now.
You know, pee before you win. It's good.
Whoa, Nelly!
Nice win for the Brewers.
Sorry, David. My apologies.
Speaking of winning, the Brewers.
Speaking of peeing.
In 11, yes, well, that guy at AmFam Field apparently on opening day.
Oh, I can't believe we didn't talk about that guy.
Well, what's there to talk about? It's atrocious.
I think that was 2 or 3 years ago, though. I think that was fake news.
Oh, was that a recycle?
Yeah, I don't think that was fresh. No.
I hope not.
Whoa, Nelly!
Nice win on a walk-off squeeze play yesterday. Hey, here's something we couldn't do before. Here's how it sounded on the Brewers radio network.
First pitch, bunting it up the first baseline. It's a good bunt. Racing home is done. He will score. Bryce Terang gets the job done, and the Brewers walk off the Royals on this Wednesday afternoon. And the Crew, after dropping Game 1 on Monday, have won the series against Kansas City.
Lane Grindle on the call on the Brewers radio network, 620 WTMJ, 100.5 ESPN Madison. I think a walk-off bunt is just as fun as any other walk-off in baseball, including a walk-off home run. You want to join my club?
No, that's idiotic.
It might be more fun because you get the runner on third, takes off running. The fielders are scrambling to try to get to the ball and throw it home as fast as they possibly can. There's a lot more action and intensity in the squeeze play walk-off than there is, like the home run. Sure, crack of the bat, crowd goes crazy. That's fun. You're going crazy no matter what because your team's about to win the game and does win the game. The home run is great. I think the walk-off squeeze play is better than the walk-off home run.
So Joe Buck's old Kirby Puckett, we'll see you tomorrow night, is going to be less than if you have a safety squeeze that wins a game. That's what you're telling me.
He could make the same.
Or Joe Carter's walk-off home run to win against the Phillies in the World Series in '93. You're telling me that would be more exciting if he would have suicide squeezed to bring that run in. That's what you're telling me?
If only Kirk Gibson had bunted.
Yeah, he should have bunted there instead of hit the home run.
The celebration.
Yeah, maybe you're right, Jesse. I don't know.
Sure. I mean, you don't have to circle the entire base paths and pump your fists and celebrate and come to home plate. Like, you can just round first and then celebrate with the team. The player coming in to score the run is the one that counts anyway. So it doesn't matter if you.
I think when Pudge Fisk hit that home run over and he was moving his arms, it would have been better if he would have bunted it down the third baseline.
Pudge Fisk.
Get back in play. Get back in play. I think you're onto something here, Jesse.
Jack Buck, first of all, Joe Buck did do the call in 2011, similar to his dad. Jack Buck could have said, instead of fly ball center field, we'll see you tomorrow, or whatever he said, he could have said, lays it down, first base line, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Could have had the same call for a squeeze play that he did for the home run. It's not that much different. It's more fun. Racing down the third base line. Bunt is there, and they win it. get into it a little bit, Buck.
Jesse.
Whoa, Nelly! I feel like I've said my adjacent take it. I've kind of told you where I feel.
Can we just enjoy the fact that winning the game on a safety or suicide squeeze?
No, it was safety. It was a safety squeeze.
I understand, but I'm also including the suicide squeeze, which I don't know if they changed the name of that now, the much more dangerous squeeze or whatever. But I'll be honest.
What does PETA get? PETA took that over?
I don't know. Feed a fed horse. It is an exciting way to win a game. It is not even in the same ballpark, pardon the pun, of a walk-off home run.
Is it better than a walk-off sack fly?
I'll say this, Jesse, I was listening to...
Yes.
I don't know who does the post-game show.
It's more exciting than a sack fly. Unless there's a major play at the plate on the throw from Bo Jackson.
Not if it's a... is it more exciting than when Sid Bream scored that run when Barry Bonds was trying to throw him out? No, I thought that was more exciting. But I'll say this.
Josh Mauer had the post-game show, and then Dom Cotrone.
Josh Mauer, I was listening to 100.5 in the post-game show driving home yesterday, and the fact that Old Boy went in and Murph Dog told him, hey, if you can lay down that bunt, lefty on lefty. And that little added drama piece to it, that's fun. That part's fun. Just like Tommy Lasorda probably told Gibby, hey, hit one out of the park. Murph yesterday went to Old Boy and said, hey, if you get this, put it down the first base line. Let's go win this blanking game. And that's what he did.
It's a great finish. It's an exciting finish. It's a great little anecdote that we got afterward. It is not as exciting as a walk-off home run. Dale Swaim on Easter Sunday, if he bunts, is not as exciting as Euchre's call. There's a swing and a bunt down the first base line. Get down, stay fair, and the Brewers win. No,
swing and a bunt. Is a walk-off bunt better than a walk-off single? Because that's very anticlimactic when you just.
I think you can make that argument, but that's not what you said. You said
ball game. Brewers
you said
win.
It's more. You even doubled down and said it's more exciting than a walk-off homer.
I am starting. I believe it.
This is a total check the tape situation.
You know what this is? This is a Tausch. If they get to Milwaukee, they'll go to the Final Four. You're revising.
No, I actually said that as we were talking.
Walk-off home run in a tie game, not as good as a walk-off bunt. Walk-off home run if you're losing and you come back and get the lead to win the game, that's better. Because then you're coming from behind.
Take the
better.
L. I can't wait for Nelly tomorrow because this has been a rough week for Nelly. Jesse, do you have anything else, or do you want to cut your losses?
That's all I would like to say today in Nelly. I'm going to stand by what I just said.
Okay, well, Jesse can cut his losses, but you can count your winnings on a road trip to our new partner, the Hard Rock Casino in Rockford.
Now, I am so excited about this partnership. Going down to Chicago, you always go through Rockford, and I always see that beautiful Hard Rock Casino off to the left-hand side of the road off of 90. And now, head on down. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, more than 1,300 slot machines, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, guests can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe. Council Oak steaks and seafood, bricked-up Italian kitchen, your new UU noodle bar, street tacos, they got it all. Head over to Hard Rock Casino, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
We will wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
If they're not better this year,
because we're on Wisconsin sports,
there's going to be a lot of seats warming up.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show, talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. New head coach for women's hoops, Robin Pinchton, introduced to media Tuesday. Pinchton spending the last 15 years coaching the Missouri Tigers, but always kept her eyes on Madison. The new head coach on why she dreamt of this chance, audio courtesy Badger Athletics.
There's a blueprint here. So many other sports have had so much success here. I think there's a lot of tremendous players in this state, and I've seen it done here before. And so I think it's a matter of getting people to believe in each other, working really, really hard, and I think we can create something really special together.
Everyone is talking about the draft, but you won't feel one from high-quality Pella windows. Get no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades today at PellaWI.com.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league. Bring the energy and be a part of history in Madison. Join us for the inaugural League One volleyball season. The second half of the season is heating up, so don't miss your chance to see these incredible athletes up close at the Alliant Energy Center. Follow Love Madison Volleyball on their journey to the first ever championship in Louisville from April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now at lovb.com and be a part of this game-changing season. Volleyball is the next major league.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
We're on the Badgers.
The expectations for Badger basketball that I have to let go of was the Bo Ryan expectation.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And that's not Greg Gard's fault. That's the NCAA's fault.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
So I guess since we did this preemptive poll at the end of yesterday's show.
Shoot, we did do
and
that.
then we never talked about it.
Oh, you put a preemptive poll in the field.
We did. I sent it to you this morning. How do we want to communicate with you? Just so we all are on the same page. Like,
No,
you don't read the show sheet. You don't look at our text. What do you do?
Jesse, that's not fair. That's not fair.
It's accurate, but it's not
you
fair.
guys. I send you stuff.
You
I
send
did
us
see
stuff.
that.
Do you ever read it when we send it to you?
This is a one-way
You
mailbox?
send long videos from Facebook. I can't log in. I don't have a Facebook
It's
account.
not from Facebook. It's a screen. I saved it, so all you have to do is hit play.
I'm very scared of getting fished and getting catfish and whatnot. So, no, I know. I'm just telling you, I'm very scared of that. So if it's something I have to click on and hit like an attachment,
It's the same as the
I
video of our
know.
TV commercial. It's the
If
same
it's not
thing.
on X, if it's not a Twitter deal or an Instagram deal,
Oh, because nothing shady happens on X.
I sent you the Twitter
No, it
poll,
does,
and you
but if
didn't
it comes
click
from
that
you, I know
either.
it's probably legit. And on Instagram, the
Our
other
poll
stuff, I go like, if you
question,
send me,
which is
if you send me a
preemptively now
TikTok,
for
I'm
tomorrow,
freaking out,
you're
thinking
done.
it's gonna
Be
get.
quiet.
I'm gonna get whatchamacallit.
You had your chance. The poll question that was supposed to be for today, which will now be for tomorrow, is this: how many
It's a double
2025
PP.
starters, players who start at 8+ games as a rookie, does Packers GM Brian Gutekunst need to select in this year's NFL draft in Green Bay?
Good
0,
question.
1, 2, or 3 or more.
That is a good question. Really
we will
good
address it tomorrow since we never got to it today. Have a
Is the
great
Brewers
day.
game starting? Is this one of those shows we go till 12:15? Late Brewers, early Brewers start. No? Oh, okay. My bad.
Check your show sheet. You'd know.
That'll do it for us today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcast